I burned down everything I wasn't. And now, I'm building a stronger, more alive version of myself. Everything I was meant to become is what I'll build bit by bit.
Hello, this is Casey from the Ashes, and I am sitting in my car on one of the hottest days of the year so far. Just checking in. You'll have to excuse my eyes. I'm not used to being outside, and I'm not used to sunshine, and I'm usually wearing my sunglasses over my glasses because suddenly the sun is too much for me. I'm just checking in and letting you know what's been happening with my sister. Things were going really well. She was improving, sitting up, being talkative, and we were making plans for her to come home. And then I believe it was 1 week ago on Friday. Today is April 23rd, Thursday, so I think it might have been 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, Friday, we went in to see her, and she had said she'd fallen overnight. She went to use the bathroom and got tangled up in, the curtains around a bed and fell on her hip and her arm, and she was just in so much pain and miserable. On top of that, she's been afraid to eat, and on top of the fall, she's now afraid to use the commode, which was sat beside her bed. So they had to put back the catheter, and she's back on those crazy pain meds, which completely lays her out, and it is almost impossible to have good conversations or for her to be awake for very long. So, unfortunately, Monday night we went we went to see her, and they called to say something had happened, and they were going to do some tests. So when my sister and I got there after work, we found out that she had fever, and they moved her to not the full ICU ward, but it's one where they have one nurse for the room, each room, but she shares her rooms, different than her original ICU room. Anyway, eventually the doctor came in, and he explained that the tumor is becoming necrotic. Means part of it is dying off, and that dying off has started to cause toxins to be released into her system, and essentially she has a infection. So her blood pressure dropped, her heart rate rose, and she had fever. So does he go in and do the surgery, like an emergency surgery to remove the tumor, despite the fact that she is so weak? Or do we just proceed with just keeping her comfortable? So she in that state was not able to make like a good decision at the time. And my sister and I were not prepared at that very moment he was telling us to say yes, go do the surgery, despite the high risk. So we talked about it, and by the end of the night before we left, we said, yeah, let's go ahead with the surgery, and if she goes on a ventilator, that would be time for her body to start healing. So we were happy with that call, I believe. And then he called us back as we were driving home to say that he had a chance to go back and look at her CAT scan and talked to the people that did the test, and they saw that the cancer had spread to areas around the colon. He didn't say specifically where the cancer is sitting now, but just that it has spread. And there is a very high chance that they can't get it all if they go in for just a tumor removal. And that she's such high risk that it would be unlikely that she survived it. So I just don't know. My sister was more conscious. My sister was more conscious when we went yesterday to see her, and we explained what was happening, that the cancer had spread, and that if she was to go in for the surgery, there's it's high risk and she might not survive. And she chose she wants the cancer removed no matter what the risk. She's willing to take the risk for a chance to live without the tumor. And that was very emotional, as you can imagine. And I'm not crying today because I have to go back to work very soon. But I believe in a miracle. I believe she could survive this. They said she wasn't meant to survive the blood clots, and she did. I mean, they were so severe that they should have just stopped her heart, and she should have died with the blood clots. So I know she's a fighter. I know she's tired and ready to give up, but I'm not ready to let her go. So her and I were supposed to grow old together. As the spinsters. I don't know, 3 weeks. Giving up my room and taking over her room. Giving her my room and moving. She has so much stuff. I thought I had a lot of stuff, but her stuff is crazy. I believe in miracles. And this is going to be a miracle. That's all. I have nothing more to add. I am working with ChatGPT, as you know, as my favorite support at times. And I gave him the prompt, something like, act as if you were my personal life coach, I think it was. And I want to be completely transformed by December 31st, 2026. So I'll get back to you on that. He's only given me one step so far. So I am excited about that because, as I said in my earlier videos, if anything, this has taught me that my sister's sickness has taught me that I have to take care of myself, and I have to love myself. And if I want to make a change in my life, it's going to start here. So I will check in again. I will let you know what's happening, and I someday soon will be able to be more, what's that word, consistent. I'll be more consistent with posting, and I'll have things to post other than my teary eyes and sad news. Well, thank you for sticking around and letting me vent on here. Thank you. See you next time.